Yep, it says record.
Okay, go.
It says learning topic. We will determine a theme and analyze its development over the course of the text by analyzing how the theme of liberation develops differently for Gertrudis and Tina, and explaining how this theme is shaped and refined by specific details.
Good. So this is the same learning target that we've been working on since last week. So we're looking for the theme of liberation, which means what?
Freedom.
Freedom. And specifically, what are we looking for when it comes to liberation? Who are we looking at? Yes.
Gertrudis and Tina.
And what about their liberation?
Explaining how the theme has shaped and refined.
What does that mean?
Meaning how their characters developed over time.
Yes. So how did they each develop to achieve liberation differently, right? Because how has Gertrudis achieved liberation so far?
By running away.
Hold on, Maya.
By running away.
Okay. And?
Oh, and by doing stuff she wasn't supposed to do.
Yes, you can say it. She is sexually liberated, right?
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. That's how she found liberation. It's different for Tita. How is she finding it? Yes.
She got sent away and now she feels better about herself.
Why?
Because she doesn't have to listen to people and no one telling her what to do constantly day in and day out.
Yes. She's just happy to be away from Mama Elena because the whole time they were living together, did she get to make any choices on her own? No. So when she got to John's house, she kind of felt lost and she wasn't talking. Why wasn't she talking?
Because she didn't want to say anything wrong.
Yeah, because everything she says at Mama Elena's house, right? Isn't there some kind of consequence for it?
Yeah.
And she doesn't know what to say because no one's ever really asked her what it is that she wants to talk about, right? So today we are specifically going to be close reading specific passages from chapter 8. We all have read chapter 8 already, but today we are going to read it to look for specifically the theme of liberation. Someone read number 1. Go.
I can use close reading to identify what the text says.
Boom! First thing we're looking for is what is the text saying? If we don't know what it's saying, can we answer any other question?
No.
No. What's number 2? Kennedy.
I can use close reading to evaluate evidence.
Good. So like everything we do, textual evidence has to support what it is that we're saying, yes? 3. Boom.
I can use close reading to analyze the development of a theme across the text.
Okay, meaning we don't just see liberation one time, right? We see it continued throughout the text. So what we need to move towards in order to do the culminating task, our last essay, is to trace how we see the theme in different parts of the book. Please sit with a group. I don't care where, just don't sit alone. Also, good morning.
And good morning.
Okay, so today, here's what we're doing. I'm going to review the chapter 8 homework just to make sure that we know what happened in chapter 8, because we can't do anything else if we don't know what happened. Then we are going to closely read some specific passages from the text. And today's going to be very discussion-based. If you don't like writing, this is the day for you because there's not going to be a lot of it. The way we are grading you today, and I'm speaking for Miss Marsh as well since she's doing this lesson with the rest of her classes, is on discussion. Okay, so chapter 8 homework review. Number 1, who was born in the beginning of the chapter? I saw a hand.
Taishay.
Tierney.
Yes, what's her name?
I forgot.
Does anyone remember?
I forgot.
Starts with an E.
Esperanza.
Yes.
Nice, Maya.
Now, what is Rosara upset about in relation to her child? At the beginning of the chapter, she's upset about something. Does anyone recall?
What did she say at Pedro?
It has to do with Pedro a little bit, yes.
I thought she could not take care of her, so Tina took care of her.
You're a genius. That's exactly the right answer. I have nothing else to add. Yes. So she's upset that Tita is doing most of the nurturing and taking care of her baby. She's jealous, right? What does Pedro try to talk Tita out of, and what is the argument, Kennedy?
Pedro was trying to get married to John.
Yeah. And why was he saying that she shouldn't? You remember?
Because he's...
He still loved her.
Well, yeah, that's his motivation. So what does he want to do? What does he suggest? Yeah.
with her.
Yeah, he says you shouldn't marry John, you should run away with me, right? Now that Mama Elena is dead. So what decision has Rosaura made for her daughter that disturbs Pedro, and also, I should have said disturbs Tita. But what decision does she make where everyone's like, I feel weird about this?
Oh, I think.
Yeah.
Is it that she told the little boy that she had to take care of her for the rest of her life?
Yes, you're a genius. So yes, Rosaura decides that she's going to continue this horrible tradition that has so terribly affected Tita's life, and she's going to make her daughter take care of her until she dies. Yes? So, now that we understand what the text says, we can look more deeply at themes. So, our focus question today is, what evidence is there that Tita is becoming a liberated woman? In every single passage that we look at, that's the question I want us to answer. Clear? Okay. All right, so we're going to do a quotation analysis discussion, and like I said, you will be doing a small amount of writing, but most of your grade today will be based on discussion. So you'll be presented with one quote from chapter 8. It'll be on the PowerPoint, but you also have all the quotes in front of you on your paper, so if you don't have your book, don't worry. You must respond to this quote in writing for 2 minutes using the focus question. So again, in every quote we read, we're looking for what?
How Tita became a liberated woman.
Yes, we're looking for how she became liberated. Okay, so you'll have 2 minutes to respond in writing. I don't even care if you use complete sentences. I don't care if it's ugly and sloppy. What I care about is your ideas, okay? So don't worry about making it sound good. You only have 2 minutes. And then you'll have 5 minutes to share your response with your group members and come up with a shared response. So if you look at your paper, it says individual response, and then when you discuss it, I want you to add to that under group response. Same when we discuss it as a class. Does that make sense? So first you're doing what?
Writing our own individual response.
Yes, and then you're doing what?
Talking about it with a group,
And then you're doing what?
with the class.
Good job.
Nice.
Okay. People are more awake today than I suspected. So if you are the group leader, this is how I'm asking you to score your group. Miss Marcia and I will also be scoring your group, so please don't lie and just circle all 5s or 4s. That should be a 4. There's a typo on here. It should be out of 4 points. So to get the highest score, what do you have to do for topic focus?
All comments are related to the text.
Okay, meaning if you are sitting there discussing your weekend, is that related to the task? No. So to get the highest score, all comments are related to the task. Participation. Someone read. Kyle.
All members participate.
If someone is asleep, can you get the highest category for this one? No. All right, respect. This is important for many of my classes, probably not for you all. Can someone read the 4? Yes.
Members listen to each other and speak with appropriate.
Yes. So if you are cutting each other off / cussing each other out, that would not be a 4, yes?
Or saying this idea, that idea is stupid.
Right. What can you do when you disagree with someone instead of saying that idea is stupid?
I disagree.
I disagree, and here's
In my
why.
opinion.
Yes, thank you. All right, academic talk. This is important. This is the one we often don't do, even me as a teacher. What is the 4? Go ahead.
Members use proper English grammar and vocabulary when speaking all of the time.
Meaning, when I come around and listen to your conversations, right? If I hear all kinds of slang and all kinds of N-words and all kinds of slurs, that is not a 4.
Good morning.
Okay. So I'm going to ask group leaders to score, and we are going to also score. Sound good? All right. So first quotation is on your paper, and the question that we're looking for is what? Yes, how does she become liberated? Can I have a volunteer to read this quote, please? Go ahead.
Rosaura required surgery not because John lacked experience, but because he had no other way to loosen up the placenta. And so Esperanza would be the only child, the youngest child, and worst of all, a girl, which meant in the family tradition, she was the one designated to care for her mother until the end of her days. Perhaps Esperanza St. Ruth in her mother's womb because she knew beforehand what to expect in this world. Tina prayed that the idea of perpetuating this cruel tradition would not cross Rosalia's mind. To help keep that from happening, she didn't want to give her any ideas with the name.
Typo, my bad.
She pressed them day and night until they agreed to call her Esperanza.
Based on what I just said, why would I not score a 4 on the rubric I just gave you?
Could you call her off?
What did I say?
You said typo, my bad.
What part of that is not academic talk?
My bad.
My bad. So based on my own rubric, I would have been at least down to a 3. Yes? Okay. So for 2 minutes, you're responding to this task, this quote independently. In the box that says independent response, after 2 minutes, we'll talk.
That's good, right? Okay.
So you're looking for examples of liberation specifically. Don't just tell me what's happening. Tell me how you can see a connection to liberation. And we will talk, so just try to get ideas down.
I broke my claw. Did you hear about that? Yeah. Yeah, and I had a rash. My last period is rough, so I got really excited when I got a question and no one had gotten right on it. Yeah, but there's a lot of it's just hard for me.
Mary's nuts on this Snapchat. Oh. You guys are nice and awake this morning.
For my fiance. But also I'm not one so she can keep it.
I'm milking this new arrangement for all it's worth, Miss Langston. I'm looking to accelerate my development. This is Kyle thinking deeply. Come on, you're the best. You know that, buddy.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so that is time. You have 5 minutes now to discuss in your groups and add to the response where it says group response.
Remember the rubric.
Don't fill out the rubric until the end, but try to keep people on track.
Miss Marsh.
Don't worry. Just talk.
Now I know I have a clipboard.
I think that Tita should live in because she didn't want she was trying not to tell Rosalba to treat her daughter like
I don't hear speaking.
she treated how my
Let
mother
me
treated
help
her.
you. Where do we
And
see
so she
liberation?
tried her
I
best
feel like
to try to call her Esperanza so that
Where do we see an example?
so that she didn't give her I don't know.
Can I go? I never finished what I said.
Just ignore me. Talk to each other.
Well, I looked up liberation and means something of freedom, and I said Tita didn't want / create the idea that her having to raise her mother will cross her mind. It literally states that.
Same thing, just in different words. Tita prevented giving words any thought about the tradition.
Yeah, I said that Tita became liberated because she didn't want the tradition that bothered her for so long to affect her niece. And now she's able to voice her opinion, so she's trying to prevent it as much as possible.
Come on. Like a way to be free, just be free. did anyone catch the last part of the quotation?
That's what I put instead of what Jenna said.
Say it. Tell your group.
She also kept pressing.
That Tita, she was pressing, as it says in the text, pressing Rosara and Pedro about the baby name until they all agreed on Esperanza. That's what I put.
Yes, because how does that show liberation?
Because at first she couldn't give her opinion or talk, I guess. So now she's talking. So
You're a genius. So there's a lot you can be writing for a group response because two people just gave very complex answers, but in order to hit the 4 on the rubric, we have to speak with our mouths. Yes? You have 2 more minutes. In addition to talking about it, you should also be recording the response under group response. That's why I gave you 5 minutes, so you have time to write as well.
Oh, okay, so what are we feeling about right here? Yeah, so we gotta get ready. What are we all writing? We gotta do the same thing?
Yeah, this is all baby Esperanza. Because at first she didn't have that.
So what we all have the same thing. You can't write this. You can't, we all have the same thing.
We all have the
I have a
same
pen.
thing. That's fine.
Really right, we all had the same thing.
Can't write that.
We had the same thing. How about Tita tried not to bring the tradition up?
So we all agreed on that.
Tita achieved liberation by pressing them to not continue the tradition that bothered her for so long. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
All right.
What a beautiful dynamic in this group.
I know, I'm like gonna cry.
What respectful academic language.
Nice leadership, Kyle.
Tita kept pressing Rosara and Pedro not to continue the tradition that bothered her for so long.
One more minute to finish writing, and we will move on.
Pressing Rosara and Pedro not to continue the tradition that bothered
We will discuss as a class, and then you'll put it in the class.
I'm not
Tita helped name the baby Esperanza, but before Marlena died, she didn't have the power or freedom of speech.
Wait a minute.
Pedro not to continue the tradition that bothered her.
Oh, F-O-R-W-A-R-D.
Pretty sure.
Oh no, it's F-O-W.
It's fine. Yeah, I already wrote this.
All right, let's talk together. So I think there's more than one example of liberation in here. Who can give me one? I'm going to start with this group, and then I'm going to come over here. Yeah.
We all agreed that Tita kept pressing Rosara and Pedro not to continue the tradition that oppressed her for so long.
Okay. So the first part is Tita didn't want her niece to be subjected to the same tradition that oppressed her. I like that you use the word oppressed. Anyone want to add to that? This group has something to add because I heard you say something different. Say it.
I said Tia is becoming a liberated woman because she is being more mature about Rosaura's daughter Esperanza, and the old Tina would have said something about the tradition, but she's just gonna hope that they won't do the tradition with Esperanza.
Okay. So if she's becoming more liberated, we should see a change in her personality, right? So how would you describe the change in her personality based on what she just said?
About the baby, right?
Yeah, what about it?
She'll let the baby She'll let the baby go through what she had to go through.
But how is that different than the way she behaved before?
Because Tita, she gave
I keep telling her opinion. She agreed. She was talking to Pedro and Rosaura about what the baby name should be. And at first she couldn't. She didn't have that privilege to talk or give her opinion on anything. And now she's talking to them about what the baby name should be. Right?
Yes, that's what I wanted to get. So if you don't already have this, make sure under class response that it seems like we all get that she doesn't want her niece to go through the same thing that she went through with the tradition, right? Because she doesn't want her niece to need to be liberated. She wants her to be free from the beginning. But I also want you to see the change in Tita, because Tita stood up for herself in this excerpt, right? She said, like, don't name the baby after me. Like, I don't agree with this. So she's never really said her opinion before, so that is the change we see in her. Clear?
Yes. Can I say one thing about that, Miss G? So remember when, at the very beginning of the book, when Mama Elena said, don't bother having Pedro come over here to ask for your hand, you know you can't get married to him? Yeah. And Tita said, in my opinion, and Mama Elena said, you don't have an opinion? Well, right after that, did Tita continue to try to push for her way, or did she just shut down?
She shut down.
Yeah. So with what you guys are saying, this time she keeps at it until she sees what she wants to see happen, right? It says that she kind of had to stick with presenting her opinion that the baby should not be named Tita. So with what Miss G's saying, that shows a really specific change in how she manages herself.
Team Garsh.
Garsh all the way. When we mush class, Garsh.
Team Garsh. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Quotation number, oh my gosh. Quotation number 2 is on the next page, so turn your page. Would someone like to read this one? Go ahead.
This is Amani turning her page.
Tina says, oh, no, this is, look at that.
What are you doing?
All right, guys, hold on. We're going to read quotation number 2. Please show me your reading, Kyle, by closing your beautiful little mouth.
And read loud and proud, guys.
Loud and proud. Go ahead.
Tita says, Pedro, you're hardly the one to tell me what I should or shouldn't do. When you were going to get married, I didn't ask you not to do it, even though your wedding destroyed me. You have your life now. Leave me in peace to have mine. It's because of that decision which I repent
Yes.
wholeheartedly.
Yes.
That I'm asking you to reconsider. You know quite well that the motive was that join me to your sister, but it turned out to be a pointless act. It didn't work, and now I think it would have been better to run away with you. Well, you think so too late. Nothing can be done about it now. I entreat you, never bother me again for the rest of my life, and don't ever dare to repeat what you just said to me.
Now, I know it's hard not to immediately talk about this, but before we talk, please respond for 2 minutes under independent response. And then we will talk.
Take your earbuds off.
Yes, English teachers are judgmental, so the first thing they're going to say is, you know, you had a child with earbuds in.
Thanks a lot, Kamal.
About a minute left to respond in writing.
From time to time, our little green flowers are popping up. I don't think that's a problem. Okay.
If it is, we'll figure it out.
Okay. I have tech fears that it'll go wrong when I'm filming.
I was a little too.
Don't talk.
Kyle Johnson. Please continue to shut your beautiful mouth until 37 more seconds. It's really hard hard not to talk about it immediately when the quote is interesting, but the reason I want you to respond in writing first is so that everyone has something to say.
Okay. Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Is this for Mark? Jack? Okay, thank you. What time is it?
Kyle, come here. Give him the camera. Your grade for today is to film.
Sorry, Miss G. Okay, Kyle.
Alright, for 5 minutes I want you to discuss this in
Go
your
back and forth
group.
between
Not
Miss
only
G
do I
when
want
she's
you to
giving
discuss, but I want you to add
and
to
like
the group
filming the
response.
conversation when people are talking. Okay? You don't have to touch anything, just put your hand through. Whoop, your hand
Well,
through
this
here.
worked out with Marsh, because now you
Oh,
got covered.
okay. Why'd you say?
Just hold it and don't press anything.
Got you.
Yeah, but zoom in, try to get individual and group responses.
Okay.
I'm gonna come around to hear responses. I've seen your speaking.
Yes. She started to give out her opinion. Tita also stuck
Tell me.
She didn't want to do something, and she made it
I
clear.
said each kept the one she probably would have blamed. But now that she has more of an opinion or like choice, she's being more mature about the situation by saying like, I ain't treat you, never bother me, and she's speaking about how she felt about the wedding instead of
Yes. And isn't it true that the whole novel up until this point, she's been so proud of how the man. So River talked up to him and be like,
So Tia went to Pedro since forever. Now she stood up for
that's a big
herself
deal, right? That's a big
by
change.
finally confronting Pedro about the decision.
So basically, she got the courage to express herself.
So we all said, we all agree on that. Tita finally spoke up for herself against
Do
Pedro.
you guys agree with that as well? Throughout the novel, she was pressed for a boyfriend or whatever. And now she's like,
She really could have. She definitely was alive. It's a good chapter.
It took 8 chapters. 8 chapters for what?
so Tia finally just stood up
I
for
know,
herself.
right? Isn't it exciting? It's exciting to
Well,
me.
she'd been stood up for herself, but always had a consequence. This time it didn't really have a consequence.
Why do you think that's true? It is true, but why?
Because, for example, when she was when she got she got sent away. Tia finally stood herself to Mama Lena, and Mama Lena hit her with a wooden spoon. But for this time, she really had no consequence for standing up and having her own opinion. Because Mama Lena's dead, nobody's really going to punish her for anything.
That's really beautiful. She really did it, and she really did it press to get what she wanted. She tried to stand up for herself, but when Mama Lena told her not to, she just got quiet. She didn't say nothing else.
Yeah, she gave up really easily, right?
Yeah.
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 So 2 more minutes. Make sure you have a written response under group response.
We see. We really did.
Oh, the last one's good. I'm excited to talk about the last one.
Can I read this one?
You can read the last one. I see the conversation's kind of wrapping up. Is 1 more minute good enough to have a written response? And then we can talk. Okay.
It's not even time to go.
Is anybody else on Rosa Resort? I can't really say her name.
No, it's
Everybody else on Resort.
I said am I the only one cool? You said yes.
Take 30 seconds.
I gotta think again now.
No, Resort's the one that make cards. Yes, this is like feel cards. Tia wanted to make it, but Resort like. They denied it.
Let me see. I like cross-eyed.
Alright, let's bring it back together, please, children. Who can share something that they talked about in their group? Maya.
We all said throughout the novel she was pressed. She was pressed to get married, but now that she's talking to Pedro, she's like, it's too bad. Like, you can't just start. I mean, you can't just, exactly. Yeah, thanks. The public chat.
She promised? Okay. I'm sorry, Maya. But yes. Did everybody get that?
Yes.
Okay, Kennedy, add.
Tita finally stood up for herself.
Describe.
Should I say the example like I already said?
Yes. I want everyone to hear so they can add it to the class response.
Tina already stood up for herself, but she always had a punishment when Mama Leah was alive. Because when Tina was sent away, Tina stood up for herself to Mama Leah, and Mama Leah punished her by hitting her with this wooden spoon. But for Pedro, well, she couldn't talk to Pedro when Mama Leah was alive, but she had no punishment for yelling at Pedro saying, "I'm done with you, like this is stupid, you destroyed me, I'm moving on, what's the point of coming back?" And she now had no punishment for it.
So then, what event can we say has really served to liberate her?
The death.
The death of Mama.
Yeah, it sounds bad to say, but the death of Mama Elena really has liberated her. Because like Kennedy said, now she's standing up for herself because she doesn't have the same consequences. So please add that to class response, and then we'll move on to the last and most important quote. Put your pen down when you're done writing so I know that you're done writing. Do me a favor. So I know I bought those fidgets for you, but they really get on my nerves. So please, you can play with them, but please don't play with them while I'm reading. Please only play with them while it's quiet. Everyone loves. You're right. Please just don't make noise until I tell you to make noise. How about during group work you can make noise?
Okay.
But you said we can't interrupt. You don't have to interrupt. Like, you don't have to do it as hard as you possibly can so that everyone can hear it. Like, you don't have to get crazy with it. You know? They seem to help some people concentrate for some weird reason. Alright, can we move on?
Yeah.
The third one is on the last page.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Who can read the final quote?
No, you said I could read it.
Why?
I
didn't know she was going to that fast. Like, she might cry if I don't want to read it.
Sensing another presence, Tina spun around. The light clearly revealed the figure of Pedro bearing the door. Pedro, what are you doing here? Without answering, Pedro went to her, extinguishing the lamp. Pulled her to a brass bed that had once belonged to her sister, Gertrude. Gertrude, yeah. And throwing himself upon her, caused her to lose her virginity and learn of true love.
I know we have a lot to say. Please respond in writing silently for 2 minutes. Children, silent for 2 minutes.
That's a long time.
I know.
So this is the time.
Still be silent. Take a stress ball. Let me get you one. You can squeeze it or put it in your mouth.
This one all messed up.
Guys.
Can we only get a minute?
Okay, that's fair.
Just saying.
So take another, it's already been about a minute. Take another 30 seconds. Please, Maya.
Oh yeah.
Mama later would have popped up out of nowhere.
No.
I think she used to love
We have about 10 more seconds and then we will talk. Kyle, don't try.
I'll try.
Now please respond to your group, talk it out, and put something in your group response.
Tina lost her virginity. She had sex and she lost that shit.
Who said the SH word? Someone lost points on the rubric. What category is that? Academic talk.
You don't want to do that.
Don't make me say it. I see what she's trying to do. She's
Anyways,
trying to
I said Tina and Pedro had sexual activity and learned about true love. True love.
Yes, you can say the word sex. There's no other way to say it. Like
Sexual intercourse.
So remember, make sure you're not so focused on the sex that you're not explaining how she became liberated. How is this liberation?
Because she grown, she free.
I think it's
Okay, that's what I want you to say. Don't just say Cheetah had sex, period. That doesn't tell me how she became
virginity, Pedro.
She,
Oh, I said.
Say what you think.
And they always, women, they love each other, women, they don't. Blah, blah, blah.
so then how does that show liberation?
She's growing up, she's maturing.
Okay.
She finally gets to do what she wanted to do since the beginning before all of it.
Yeah.
Before Pedro had a kid, before
Yep.
the marriage, everything.
Kennedy, you're a genius today.
I'm tired.
I'm gonna call Miss Marshmallow down to your drink. I call her Miss Marshmallow. And then we're Team Garsh.
So we agree that
Literally the
You
cringiest.
are also writing a written response and a group response.
It came out of But didn't Tina just was fussing at him and stuff? Oh Lord. He was just fussing. She was just fussing with Pedro. And now she just lost her virginity. Talking about some choosing.
Yeah, good question.
I think she wanted to because she didn't make the ball come out. It was only one year. Probably not the best. I feel like she wanted to. He would get it.
Let's say you lost your virginity, that means you lost, that means that was the first time.
With the football bag.
Focus on your work.
It's not my first time, but I
I need football though.
Why are you running this? We said
Over
Tina
here. It's
did
original.
finally did something.
Without no consequences, without
Oh yeah, no.
she's so like that, like that.
no, it probably so. Because she said because it's saying lunch of
What time is it?
It's 9:07. 2 minutes.
See, I need to learn more. I need to know what it happened in August.
So don't she got a niece that's by him?
Oh crap.
You playing stepmother and aunt role. Playing stepmother and aunt role.
I mean, but didn't she want her?
Yes.
But still, that's just nasty. It's many.
My sister nasty too.
But
We never realized what did Rosa want. Who's Rosa? She says Rosa.
I think you mean a genius from all the way over here.
She's a stepmother and aunt. That's crazy.
Like we so far in the book we never heard how she really felt. She just
right, it's just from there.
but we can tell from the rest of the chapters that she felt like she was in love with Pedro because she cried during really everything.
She said they both was in love at this point.
Pedro had a plan. I'm gonna marry Missouri. I'm gonna marry Missouri and get closer.
He kind of made both of them fall in love and knew like they probably gonna bully you or whatever.
But yeah, this thing.
She had the nasty letters in the same day with the same shit.
So if you don't think this is liberation,
Because going back to the wedding.
Same shit. Stepmother and aunt.
30 seconds. We're gonna talk about it all together.
Alright, now Pedro probably when they got before actually. I I think Victoria was just doing
That's all I said. That's
so
what
maybe
class
she's
is
like,
for.
oh, Mama Lane's around. I'm just gonna pretend to be with him until
I
she
didn't get
actually.
it.
Mama Lena had
Alright, come back together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Who can give me evidence that she's becoming liberated if you think she is? Kennedy.
She had sex with Pedro. Fine. She wanted to do it ever since the book even started. So she finally gets to have sex with the person that she wanted to since the beginning and don't have any consequence for it.
Okay, add.
Oh, man.
She said it all?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to add?
So I really don't think she wanted to lose her virginity, but I feel like, cause it say he threw himself on her. So I don't think she really wanted to lose it, but she only did it because she loved him.
Okay, so do you think this is an example of liberation then? Listen to what she's saying because that's a good point. Do you think that she is becoming liberated here?
I do. In a way,
Yeah.
but not really.
Cause he took it without like saying anything to her, like anything. He just forced himself on her, but it wasn't like forced himself on her.
I think she wanted to lose her virginity, but probably not to Pedro because they were just fucking, and then like.
Can we make sure this group is listening to this group? Because Maya is saying something that you could be writing. Go ahead.
I feel like she wanted to lose it, but probably not to Pedro because they were just fussing, and then she was just all like, "It's too late." Da 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 da. Like, so I don't know if she really wanted to lose it then, but I know she wanted to lose it.
Okay.
And then back in the beginning of the book, I think it was saying something about how she wanted to lose her virginity, but was something with the sheet and blood, right?
Oh, we talking about merge.
Yeah.
Merge. It is about merge.
What's with the sheet and blood?
Oh,
Who remembers?
I think they lay out a sheet or something, and
you
I think they have sex on the sheet, and if something like I forgot if blood,
Yeah, based on if she
bleeds.
If her hymen broke, but that don't mean necessarily
Yes,
wasn't a virgin.
Right.
But then wasn't
Because
she
it could break.
upset? But then she started. That's why I started throwing up, right?
Yeah.
Because she was upset that she wouldn't experience none of that.
Yes. Good connection.
I
So,
got one more thing.
yes, add.
So I feel like, so back to what I was saying, I really don't think she wanted to lose it, but she did it because she loved him. Because like before that they was arguing, and you know sometimes when people argue they just have sex as like an apology. So I feel like that's what happened.
Okay. What do you guys think about women in this novel using sex as a means to become liberated?
It's nasty.
Okay, but why is it happening? Why is it happening in their society specifically?
Oh, because back then, wait, what era was this? Well, anyway, back then, I feel like women, they wasn't like, they couldn't stand up for that stuff, say what they want to say, they couldn't do what they want to do because they'd be called a whore, I guess, or some stuff like that. And then now, I forgot the question.
Why are so many women using sex as a means to become liberated?
Because I guess by them using sex to be liberated, it shows that they can't be controlled of anymore.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, talk more about that. So she's saying that it's showing that they can't be controlled. Explore that. What do you mean?
Controlled by men.
Okay, how does having sex, I'm not disagreeing with you, I'm actually agreeing with you. But how do these women having sex with men show that they can't be controlled by men?
Because they don't care about their opinions, like how they would be called, like they would be called out of their name for stuff like that. And like, I feel like if she do have sex, that means she don't really care about people's opinions no more. So she's really like being mature about it.
I like that answer.
Oh, that is being liberated.
I like that answer. So yes, so do you think that we still have that today?
Kind of.
Yeah, in a way.
How?
Because today, well, it's always been like that. Like girls, we always get like catcalled and stuff like that by boys, but boys never get catcalled.
Right.
And like us, we like girls, we don't do certain things or we don't talk about certain stuff because it's gonna connect to us saying how we a hoe and a
Right,
whore.
like if you talk about how if you talk about like if a girl was to talk about how many times she had sex or how many different people it was with, she would be called a hoe. But if a boy do it, he gets points for it. So it's
Yeah, so I think it's similar today, right? Like we can see the connection. Obviously it's more extreme in the early 1900s because what is a woman's only option in life, really?
To get married, have kids.
Yeah, to get married and have kids. Like you weren't going out and getting a career, or going to college, or buying a house by yourself. You were doing it with a man, right? But the connection to sex as a means for liberation, we can still see that today because even in 2019, society is really geared towards it's okay for males to behave this way, but it's not okay for females to behave this way. Make sense? Cut.
It's gender.
Because people are going to get bored if I go on it. Hold on. Let me do it. Okay.